Brandon Bruce Lee was born on February 1, 1965, in Oakland, California, into a family already touched by legend. His father was Bruce Lee, a rising martial arts icon, and his mother, Linda Lee Cadwell, provided the steady foundation that held the family together. Brandon spent his childhood moving between the bright hills of Los Angeles and the crowded streets of Hong Kong, growing up in a world where film sets, philosophy, and martial arts blended naturally into everyday life. He attended the Chadwick School in Palos Verdes and La Licey Francaise de Los Angeles, but fitting in was never simple. Everyone knew whose son he was, and expectations followed him everywhere. Martial arts were always around him, but it wasn't until he turned about 12 or 13 that he began training seriously. Under the guidance of Dan Inosanto and Richard Bustillo, direct students of his father, he learned Jeet Kune Do. But unlike what people assumed, Brandon never set his sights on competitive fighting. He chased no trophies, no world titles. Instead, he saw martial arts as personal expression, not a sport to be conquered. As he grew older, his interests shifted toward acting, the craft that had shaped so much of his father's life. In his late teens and early 20s, Brandon studied at Emerson College in Boston and then at the Lee Strasberg Theater Institute in Los Angeles. There, he discovered that acting wasn't just something he could do, it was something he needed to do. It became his path, his way of stepping out of his father's immense shadow. His first professional acting job came in 1986 with Kung Fu. The movie followed shortly by his first feature film, Legacy of Rage. Hollywood followed with roles in Showdown in Little Tokyo and Rapid Fire, where he showed not only physical talent but emotional depth. During this time, Brandon met Eliza Hutton, the woman he planned to marry. He had no kids yet, but he talked about wanting them someday with quiet excitement. Then came The Crow, dark, poetic, and emotionally demanding. It was the role Brandon had been waiting for, a chance to show the world who he truly was as an artist. Filming took place in Wilmington, North Carolina, where Brandon poured everything he had into the performance. But on March 31, 1993, during the shooting of a scene involving a prop gun, tragedy struck. A fragment from a dummy bullet, left accidentally inside the gun barrel, was propelled out when a blank was fired. The fragment hit Brandon in the abdomen. He was rushed to the hospital where doctors fought for hours to save him, but the damage was too severe. Brandon Lee passed at just 28 years old, only weeks before he was to marry Elisa. The Crow was completed after his passing and released in 1994. It became a cult classic, a haunting reminder of the talent the world lost too soon. His story continues to touch people around the world, not because of how he passed, but because of how intensely and authentically he lived. To honor Brandon's memory and hear more stories like this, tap like, hit share, and don't forget to subscribe.